Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. Let's make sure that since we're live, that we're not terrible. Check, check. Check, check. All right, we're good. No squeakiness. All right, here we go. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, and similar places and try to make a few extra bucks online. This morning, handful of sales this weekend, pretty decent, and a new project with a buddy that had a really good idea. And here's hoping it works. And link in the description below at thecrookedspine.com, and I'll explain later. First up, let's get over onto the sales. Maybe I'll show a couple of finds and then we'll go on from there. So, what was lowball? This one. Sherlock Holmes. This is a 1950s Sherlock Holmes deluxe editions. Was this Junior Deluxe Edition? Sherlock Holmes, 1950s, give or take. These lot up okay, actually. This was one, I think this was a little more rare, or somebody got it to fill a hole in their collection. I actually like lighting these up a little bit more, but I veer away from them unless I can get a bunch of them for like 50 cents a piece or less. This isn't one that I grab now. These books aren't necessarily ones I grab now unless I can get a bunch of cheap. They'll flip that way and you'll make a few bucks, but don't pay more than $1 a piece for them. And even if that, and sometimes for me, it's hard to avoid. If they're really good shape, I'll grab them at that price. But anyway, this one went for $8. Next up, had this one a while. A little surprised it didn't sell, I think, a little bit faster. But I've actually been sitting on this maybe a year. Looney Tunes Iron-On Transfers. This is from the 80s, maybe the 90s. Still has all the pages to it. This went for $13. Yep, $13. And I think somebody actually bought this, didn't want it, and I relisted it, and it sold. So sometimes delist relist does work. Usually I rely on the 30-day rollover to get that done. But it worked this time. I just don't have time to do the delist relist thing, and it just irritates me that that's something that has to happen some days. But when you gotta do it, you gotta do it. So anyway, $13. Iron transfer books do okay, I guess. Make sure they've got all the pages in their really good condition if you're going to get them. All right. Next up was something I'm probably not going to get again. These are, I apologize for my sinuses. I have been sniffling and snorting for a week. Wings of Fire hardcovers. These are 5 non-sequential. These went for $15. So I'm not really going to make money on this batch. I probably got them at $1 a piece. If they were like books 1 through 5, 1 through 4, I probably could have gotten a little bit more for them. But I'm probably going to just leave the Wings of Fire books on the shelf from here on in, and get those out the door and say bye-bye to those. And those sold a little quickly. I don't think I had them up for very long, but they didn't go. One of the reasons I hadn't listed them was they didn't sell for a while. So if you're going to get them, make sure you get them for less than $1 a piece, and see if you can't get them a little more sequential than I had these. That was 5, 6, 8, 14, and one other one. So like 15. So buying books in series sequentially sells better. Now on to the better stuff. All right. Cold Case Christianity. Updated and expanded edition. A homicide detective investigates the claims of the Gospels. This is a bit of a hot book right now, so keep an eye out for it. This went for 15 bucks. So look at your religious stuff, particularly more conservative, non-Pentecostal type. Don't not the inspir- inspirational stuff fades out really fast. Your more in-depth, investigative stuff, like this one does a little bit better. Your more, I guess, ties to an older pre 1900s stuff sells a lot better. That's not what this is. This is apologetics. Books sell better. Books that defend the faith do a little bit better than. I tend to avoid your inspirational stuff. There's also heresy involved with those. So other than that, get these. All right. Next up, what we got? Come on, where are you? Where are you? This was a fun find. And it's one of those that you may not realize that this sells. He-Man, the Sword of Skeletor, little golden book. This actually is one of the things you don't realize about He-Man is there's not a lot of lore in the cartoon. And it's just like Skeletor hatching a plan, He-Man foiling it, some sort of moral lesson, and it's over. And He-Man doesn't even stab anybody. Got this great powerful sword, never stabs anybody. But this story actually includes something behind the swords that He-Man and Skeletor carry. How they're matched and they unlock something in the Castle of Grayskull toy. It's actually kind of fun. This went for 10 bucks. Good condition, 1980s. I'm gonna call them ancillary material. Sells, and your erasers and your pencils and your books and all that sort of stuff that is related to the action figures does pretty well because they're not making any more of it. So when you come across that He-Man shampoo bottle for $1 somewhere, grab it because somebody will get it. So and this was in really good shape and it was a really fun one. So 10 bucks for that. Keep an eye out for them. Finally, Transformer, really modern one too. It was actually a little surprised I found this at a local thrift store. This sold within about 3 days. This is a 2023 Mirage figure from like one of the more latest movies, and he transformed. I'm not going to do him right here. He transforms into a Porsche 911, and it's a real neat little figure. It was complete. 30 bucks for this bad boy right here. So and like the package ones go for 40. So this was a really neat find that I came across last week. I think I had Thursday, and it sold Sunday, maybe even earlier than that. So that's my finds for this week. And I need to go wipe my nose, so you'll have to excuse me for a second. Can't head there. Okay. I'm back. All right. Now that that's taken care of, my boy Shane over at Soda City Sellers, Soda City Flips, good channel. Go watch him. Came up with an idea of there on district.net. You can make your own marketplaces for stuff. And so he said, and Shane's a big fan of horror and sci-fi and that sort of stuff. So he came up with the Crooked Spine. Link below in the comments. And invited a bunch of us to say, hey, come sell at my store. We got a very specific focus, and it's vintage sci-fi, fantasy, horror books. And that's what we'll sell. And I'm like, I'm on board. I got boxes full of that stuff. I come across it all the time. Let's see if we can do it and make some money. So I've got a bunch of listings over there. And so I want y'all to go over there and look at our deals. I got Heinlein. I got Asimov. I got a Lovecraft book down listed on there. They're all cheap. That I got basically $5 flat rate shipping for however many books you buy. And basically it's like a penny extra per book I got it listed. So, and all my books are like $2 or $3 or $4. So go over there, see if there's something you want, and buy it. And buy from the other guys over there at their Crooked Spine. Let us know what you want, and we can go look at it for you. But I think it's a real good way. I feel like I can get, because of the eBay fees, this is actually a way I can sell inexpensive paperback, the real neat old science fiction books and fantasy books without having to deal with the eBay mess. And so that's kind of the plan there, because the site takes less than eBay does. So I think they may rely on guys like us to do our own marketing instead of eBay. The Goliath, eBay's a Goliath. It's actually a really efficient way to sell stuff, and you can make a lot of money on it. But they do take their haircut. And so for some things, it's hard to sell inexpensive stuff on eBay, and I think this is a good solution. So go see us over at the Crooked Spine and see if there's anything you want. Link below in the description. And let's get moving from there. So, if not a whole lot of finds to go through today, but got a new project going. So, go check us out. Again, crookedspine.com. Like, comment, subscribe. And I will catch y'all on the flip side of wherever it is. Bye. End stream.